Street Rat Garage Extra, we're talking about bumper jacks. This is what you would have in your car in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I think they phased out somewhere in the late 70s, early 80s. But this is what you use to jack up your car to change your tire. This jack right here, it was in the Impala, 64 Impala. I don't believe it belonged in this car. And I have not really seen this type of jack before using this bar. But the basic principle would be, you would just come over here, wrap this chain around the bottom of your bumper, and start jacking up the car. This one's a little bit rusty and doesn't seem to want to work, but this is a basic principle of it. Number two, we have the common bumper jack. This one would be in the back trunk area of your car or your station wagon. Have the little base plate tied down with the spare tire. Just throw your base plate on the floor. Bring your bumper, the lip of your bumper jack to the edge of your bumper. There's a little switch you flip up here. Make sure it's clipped underneath your bumper real good. This is your tire iron. These are not just for hitting people with, but this is actually to jack your car up. Give it a few pumps. And as long as your car's not rusted out and your bumper stays on there, it lifts the car up. Just simply come over here with your lug wrench, loosen up your lug nuts, change your tire. Now the problem with these things, it's incredibly unsteady. So a lot of people have been hurt because they don't chock their wheels, or they try to jack this up on a hill or something. They get up under there, changing their tire, and it falls on them. That's why we don't have those anymore. So this is a 60s model jack that hooked underneath the bumper. We come over here to the 70s model. We try to make it a little bit safer by adding this little protrusion that would go into a slot right here in the bumper. So you just stick that up there and jack it up in the same fashion. It made it a little bit safer, but those things always fell over. The 70s models like to go from side to side and just slip off when you were trying to pull the tire off. So a lot of people were hurt or even killed by those things when they were fooling around changing their tire, or just using a bumper jack to change their oil. So definitely not the way to go, but if you have it in your car, it's good for display purposes, or it will work in an emergency. That's all for this Street Rat Extra.